All right, everybody, please rise for the Honorable Judge Zapetti.
Thank you, guys. You may be seated. I apologize for being late today. Things come up, things happen. I'm very sorry that we're getting such a late start on this. We'll try to keep it moving as fluidly as we can. And yeah, just bear with us. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for your time.
I just want to point out, please, everybody, make sure you're whispering or not talking during this trial. If you're being unruly or being disruptive to the case, we will ask you to leave the court or we will remove you ourselves. But we want you all here to witness this. So please work with us and enjoy.
All right, we'll go ahead and we'll start it up with the prosecution since we're bringing forth a case against, if I'm not mistaken, this is Mr. Limbs. Is that correct, Victor?
Yes, Your Honor, that is correct.
All right, so it's going to be the state versus Mr. Limbs. Jay, if you can, just for my sake, if you could let me know what the charges are being brought up against this gentleman.
Okay, the charges being brought up against the individual known as Mr. Limbs is attempted murder ×2, stalking ×3, and harassment ×3.
All right, sorry, I write kind of slow. Attempted murder ×2, kidnapping ×3.
Attempted murder ×2, stalking ×3, harassment ×3.
Alrighty, Mr. Grimm, if you want to go ahead and begin, you may start your opening statement.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jay Grimm, and it's a pleasure to represent the state of San Andreas and to serve as prosecution on this case. On November 26, 2021, the defendant in this matter was caught in the act of his sick and aggressive desires. It began with him luring a female co-worker into an alleyway. There he would have enacted his whims freely. Mr. Limbs was carrying a knife in his possession meant for his co-worker. I believe strongly that Mr. Limbs planned to use that knife to take his co-worker's life.
All right, thank you, Mr. Grimm. Mr. Shieldbreaker, if you'd like to go ahead and do your opening statement.
Yes, Your Honor. We're here today because simply my defendant here was trying to make sure that his coworker was taken care of and was looking around. It is just a case of coincidental and accidental issues, along with a couple issues regarding mental health. But it is definitely a misunderstanding and something that should be looked over later.
All right, thank you, Mr. Shieldbreaker. I appreciate that. Alrighty, so just to make sure you guys all understand, prosecution is going to start presenting their case. They're going to start calling their witnesses to build their case. Once the prosecution is done with their witness, they are to remain here for cross-examination from the defense. And we'll proceed like that, and then we'll also allow the defense to call any witnesses if they have any after the prosecution has called all of theirs. So, Mr. Grimm, if you're ready, you may go ahead and start.
Okay, so I would like to call Emma Fist to the stand.
Alrighty. If we can get Miss Emma up here.
Art, place hand on the book. Do you swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Art, is good.
All right, just for court records, ma'am, could you please state your name? Could you spell your last name for me, please?
I need her to shout, please.
Yes, sorry.
Yep. Just make sure everybody's shouting so everybody can hear us.
What's
Mr.
up?
Grimm, you may begin.
So, Miss Fist. Miss Fist, so on the night of your incident with the individual, can you describe, is this the individual that you encountered that night?
Yes.
All right, it's been identified.
Does his attire match the attire that he was using to lure you in and attack you?
Yes,
And did you receive any medical attention at Pillbox regarding this?
I did.
Your Honor, I also have the medical record here of Emma Fist's treatment at Pillbox that I can pass to you for validation.
Yeah, that's fine. Has the defense had an opportunity to review this document?
Yes, Your Honor. It would be on the warrant.
All right. No objection to it being submitted. Just allow me a couple of seconds just to browse over it real quick. All right.
And Miss Fist, is it true that you gave a police officer a witness statement regarding the attack on yourself?
Correct.
Your Honor, if I may pass the witness statement along to you.
Yes, please. All right, Mr. Grimm, can I have you read that statement out loud for the courts?
Yes, give me one moment to pull it back.
Yes, sir.
So the statement taken from Emma Fist was Emma Fist at Alta Apartments. The suspect, presumed to be Sheldon Limbs, aka Severus Limbs, scared her in a somewhat joking manner. She was waiting around and spoke with him, a socially awkward individual. Took a walk and went towards the garage area. He then claimed that he was a wizard. He does not have a wand, but says he has this. He then pulled out a knife and stabs Emma. Says she was the sixth.
Miss Thist, does this sound accurate of what happened that day?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Mr. Grimm, you may proceed.
With the following things, you would confirm that you were stabbed with a knife and that knives seem to be his preferred way of luring people. So I have no more questions for Emma Fist, Your Honor.
All right, fair enough. Mr. Shieldbreaker, would you like to cross-examine?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you may proceed.
That's definitely like a shtick.
Alrighty. Miss This. How do you know the defendant?
I wouldn't say I really know him besides the small interaction outside of the apartments.
Understood. So you saying that you've never met this gentleman before?
I meet a lot of people, but I didn't remember him up until this incident.
Interesting. So I'm reading here, and it says that the police department asked you to come down and pick him out of a lineup. Is this correct?
Correct.
How many people were in that lineup?
I'm sorry, I don't know how that's relevant.
You'll have to answer this question, ma'am, if you know it, unless prosecution objects.
Yeah, I object, Your Honor.
On what grounds?
The grounds are like she was distressed and also following.
Elements should be the answer.
So also with that lineup, it is not relevant to the whole case. The individual was identified even prior to the lineup.
Your Honor, as I would like to continue there, as the prosecution did mention, she was in distress, and if there were not more than one person there, then we cannot fully see that that was a proper identification.
Fair enough. Go ahead and answer his question, ma'am.
Is he talking? Sorry, I'm just a little. Is there were multiple people that I was supposed to point out, or multiple people pointing him out?
Was there? Let me redirect the question. How many people did you get to look at in the lineup?
If I'm remembering correctly, I believe he was the first one. We confirmed it was him right away.
So what you're saying is that there were no other people, correct?
Correct.
Thank you. At the end of your statement, you said you were up by the observatory with the gunshot wound, correct?
What, I wasn't?
Yes, I believe that is your statement there.
Oh, you mean him? I was stabbed. I wasn't shot.
Objection, Your Honor.
What grounds?
The statement that he is referring to is a mismatch on the PD side, and that statement got taken and mashed in with the others. It's actually not relevant.
Is there anybody from the PD that can clarify this?
What statement are we referring to, Your Honor?
Statement number 4 with Emma Fist.
Okay, let me just clarify 1 second.
Because on this grounds, it takes place way after the fact of when the initial statement was taken.
We'll go ahead and we'll move on from this, Mr. Shieldbreaker. Just notate that in your notes, and we will readdress it.
Yes, Your Honor. I would request that if these statements are not correct, either they be corrected or thrown out due to not having the proper information.
I understand. Do you have any other questions for the witness victim?
Okay,
I
yeah,
do
so
not.
that
I
was
would.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yes, I do not have questions currently. I would ask my colleague if he would have any questions.
Yes, I would actually.
All right.
In the witness statement, it said that you knew he was a socially awkward individual, right?
Correct. He told me himself.
So if you knew he was socially awkward and not really, I want to say, all there, why would you go along with him?
Objection, Your Honor.
I'd like for her to answer.
Well, I was waiting for my friend at apartments, so I had some time to kill. I understand what it's like to be new to the city and not being the best with people, so I like to see the best in everyone, and I wanted to, help him have a friend, and that's what he asked for. So we just were taking a walk. We were in public. I didn't think anything was going to go wrong. So I was just trying to be the friend that, everyone needs in a city like this.
That's what Lyra was doing.
Any other questions?
No, Your Honor, I think I'm good. Thank you.
All right, fair enough.
Sorry.
Mr. Grimm, do you have redirect, or are you good?
What do you mean?
Is there anything else you'd like to ask of her before she's released from the stand?
No, I just have my comment on Jason's last statement there.
All right, I'll hear you.
Assuming that someone and using it as a descriptor value that they are socially awkward, or which was the word here, socially awkward individual, does not mean that she knew that he was not all there like you described your client. Therefore, as a descriptor is not a factual information, knowing that she did not assume that he wasn't all there or is fully socially awkward within his mind.
Fair enough. I appreciate that. Miss Thist, you may step down if you would like to remain For the remainder, you're welcome to do that.
Can I say something to Jay's comment?
Sure, I'll let you respond.
Yes, and the witness statement. I'm not sure if this part is scrambled, but apparently it is said that they knew that he had multiple personalities.
Could I have a copy of the statement that the defense is referring to, Mr. Shieldbreaker? Could you send
Yeah.
that over to me?
Yeah, I'll do that right now.
Or you? Yeah, that's fine. Don't forget to stretch your legs if you guys need to.
Yeah, that's the jumbled part.
Alright, can we address that? What is the what's the problem with what do we have two different statements?
Connor.
With which different statements? Statement 1 and Statement 4, Your Honor?
No, just statement 4.
Okay, so let me go ahead and read out Statement 4. Amethyst at Alto apartment, the suspect, presumed to be Sheldon Lim, scared her in a somewhat joking manner. She was waiting around and spoke with him, a socially awkward individual. Took a walk and went towards the garage area. Said he was a wizard, doesn't have a wand, but he said he has this. Pulls out a knife and stabs Emma. Says she was a sixth. Followed him and found out multiple personalities up by observatory with a gunshot wound. Sorry about that. Took to PD. So the followed him and found out about the gunshot wounds. That was actually after the fact of the assault, Your Honor. I apologize on the miscommunication. That should have been put in a different statement, but it is two different separate occasions.
Your Honor, can I say something?
Sure, go ahead.
If these statements are all mismatched and confused, how do we know that the other statements are not?
Just give me a second. Let me look at this real quick. How were these statements obtained? Were the victims advised to fill them out and submit them, or were the statements taken for them by someone else?
These statements were given us directly by the witnesses. We spoke with them and we copied down exactly what they said, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, may I ask for clarification?
Sure.
So, for clarification, an officer wrote down what they said, correct? They didn't write it down themselves.
Statement 1, 2, and 3 were written down, Your Honor. Most of Statement 4 is written down, and due to head issues, they asked for me to finish the statement, Your Honor.
That's fair enough. I did have Mr. Grimm read out statement number 4 to Ms. Dist. She did confirm that it is as he stated. It appears that the last sentence on statement 4 is a clerical error. I understand the defense's concern and it's noted. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on from here. However, every victim that comes up, I need the statements read out to them, just like Ms. Dist, and I need them to confirm the statements under oath. Mr. Grimm, go ahead and continue with your turn.
Okay, Your Honor. I would like to call Maddie Welsh to the stand.
All right.
Oh, he tricked that girl just like he tricked Lyra. Sounds like.
Raise your hand. Place your hand on this book. Yeah. Do you swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Alrighty, and just make sure that you're speaking loud and clear enough for everybody here in the courtroom. Mr. Grimm, you may proceed.
Miss Welsh, can you go over your encounters with the individual known as Mr. Limbs?
All right. Let's see. I said we were open. He came on by, ordered food. He seemed nice. Want to know if you were hiring. Said yes. Let's see. Then he went on about his day. Came back and would just told me the food was great. Then he made a little tidbit about wanting to go on a hike with me alone. felt kind of off about that comment, so I kind of like brushed it off and said like, "Oh man, I just can't really leave the building right now. A lot of stuff needs done." And then throughout the whole day, he kept coming in and coming out, just watching the whole time. That's all I got.
All right.
And can you confirm that the attire he's wearing now is the same that he was wearing then?
All of that is the same, except he had glasses on, I believe, when he came in. Shades.
And would you say his demeanor was unstable or socially awkward when he approached you?
It felt, what's the words? A bit off, like, yeah, you might want to stay away from this guy. He was,
And how many times has Mr. Sheldon Limbs entered Noodle and tried to approach you specifically?
uh, 3 or 4 times.
No more questions, Your Honor.
All right. Defense.
Yes, I have a couple questions here. For clarification there, can you state your name and where you work there?
Maddie Welsh, I work at Noodle. I'm a boss. At the time, I was just a manager.
Understood. Miss Welsh, how often do you have customers come in?
Well, if you're asking if they come in a lot during the day, no, not like that.
Just asking generally, how many customers around do you have? A lot.
As of lately, not as much.
Understood. When it comes to this gentleman here, you said that he gave off a creepy, or I'm sorry, not a creepy. Let me clarify. You said he gave off a socially awkward feeling, correct?
I wouldn't say socially awkward. It just felt very creepy.
Understood. Did he, besides asking that one time to go hiking with you, did you have any other? Did he ever ask you anywhere else to go anywhere else?
No, it was only that one time.
Understood. And in your opinion, would you feel that someone socially awkward would maybe want to make a friend by going hiking?
No.
Understood. I see here that you also were called in for the lineup, correct?
Yes.
Did the police officers give you a reason why they called you in?
They called me in because they had children under custody, and they wanted what what I said the one day to them to clarify.
Gotcha. And do you have a restraining order or anything against Mr. Limsier?
Not that I know of.
Understood. So they just called you in because you said he was socially awkward and wanted to go hiking, correct?
Never said you're socially awkward.
I'm sorry. You said he was creepy, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. I don't think I have any further questions there. Do you, my colleague?
I can think of one. Miss Welsh.
Mm-hmm.
During the times of Mr. Lenz coming in and rubbing you the wrong way, Did you feel threatened in any way?
Yes, in a sense.
And how long did it take you to inform PD between that moment and to your witness statement?
Given the, let's see, might have taken a minute due to I wasn't able to get a hold of cops very often, and every time I tried, I was taken hostage.
So was it during the same day? Was it the next day? A week later? A month?
Thanks.
I think it was probably a few days later. I'm not sure.
So if you felt threatened by him, why did it take you so long? I mean, you could have easily went
Objection,
up to
Your
the...
Honor.
Every time I tried, I got
It's
taken
okay.
hostage, mate.
You don't have to answer that. It's okay. Next question.
I think that's all I got right now, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. All right, Jay, you have anything else before we release her?
No, that's all.
All right, thank you, man. We appreciate your time. If you want to hang around, you're welcome to.
All right.
All right, Mr. Grimm, you may continue.
Hi, Your Honor. So the third witness I'd like to call is also the one we discussed about earlier, that fears for her safety. And the defense did agree to meet her in private to do the examination.
All right, so what we're going to do at this time is everybody please sit tight. Mr. Limbs, you are to remain here. Court police will keep an eye on you, while myself, the prosecution, and defense go meet with the other victim.
So it looks like we're entering a closed door session to talk to the third witness / victim in this particular case. This is again Rose Nadler from Weasel News, bringing you live coverage of this trial so far.
What? What did she say?
Okay, Bella. He said that.
I mean, is the court over?
No.
Did you have an experience too? Yeah, text. Yeah, kind of.
I didn't even know that was a hairstyle. Where? The mask. Where? Shut up. Right behind us. What? That's a mask? Okay. Yeah. I've just never seen that. I know the mask. I'm talking about like the hair. I think it's a hat. That's a hat? I don't know. Oh, we have a mask.
It's a mask. I'm fucking bald.
That's Lolly.
Fuck no.
To get shot.
Listen, sir.
It's
not.
That one's Joe, man.
I look like
It's a
Jefferson.
mess.
Please, man.
Visibly on the door.
He said
No
it was a
mask,
mask,
please.
though, so no.
Okay,
I don't want
I will leave, officer.
I don't want to drag you out of here
Is
and
that
then
you?
shoot you in the back alley. All right, please.
Jeez.
You in your head?
No, no.
He just said it was not. It was not. He just said it was because he's bald and he's scared.
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just kind of irritated.
I'm gonna go say I didn't met you.
Please understand.
Oh, do you need to go past me?
Wait, you wanna talk outside?
Damn, and in high heels. That was impressive. That was impressive.
Any thoughts about the trial so far on the record?
Yeah, right.
Nope.
What did you say?
Oh, I said any thoughts on the trial so far? On the record?
Oh, I mean, I don't really want to piss this guy off with the knife over here, but he sounds like a really shady fella.
Fair enough.
That's basically all I've gathered.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Ted,
Ted.
and my last name is Bogan, if you need me to spell it.
Sure, go for it.
Bogan.
Yeah, what's up?
Bogan. Nice.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
it's a trial for.
How's your shoulder doing, by the way?
I'm resting it currently. Gotta do some
Okay.
stretches.
Name is
Yes.
severs limbs.
Yeah, but
And they think he stabbed people.
This helps a lot.
There we go. Yeah, that looks.
instead of like arguing about whether or not he was the one who's.
You need like yeah, to
Probably
put your
should've
shoulder
known not to
down
go on
in
the
the
walk.
brakes, you know.
I was like,
Yeah, it's
oh
rough.
my fucking god.
That
Did
that
Miku
isn't
never have him? The knife?
that is not the implication
you're
they were
probably
trying
right.
to make.
But that's what it seems like, though.
Yeah, okay.
What are your
let,
thoughts
let
on the
me
case so far?
clarify how this normally goes in a court.
Probably just wait until
They are asking this question.
What are your thoughts on the case so far?
Oh, I've seen too many court cases go awry to make any statement yet.
Oh, should have asked you first.
I have really bad flashbacks every time I come here.
Oh man, okay. I'm probably gonna get stabbed now after this.
It's fine.
For me? No, I'm not gonna stab you.
No, not for me, not for you. This man sitting right there.
Yeah, I'm not sure now's the time to be giving an interview.
No, she's not like.
Said your name was Ted
Yeah.
Bogan?
Yeah. Is that?
I'm just
I know
kidding.
you?
No.
Okay.
I don't think you can hear me. I'm whispering.
I can hear you.
You can hear me,
Oh.
but I don't think he can.
Oh, I see what you're doing there. Oh my god. Shh. I have
Yeah, you're definitely getting stabbed.
I have long hair too.
Boy,
Like, I don't want him to confuse me. Yeah.
Definitely seems to have a type. Friendly women.
Yeah. Oh my god. I'm friendly and have long hair. Oh my god.
I feel really lucky that I haven't been stabbed yet at this point.
Yeah. You might want to carry something else besides the camera in that bag.
Oh, if I hit him in the head with this camera, he's going down.
Oh, true.
Weighs like 30 pounds.
I didn't know children were allowed in the courthouse.
I'll just hire
I mean,
this
look
guy
at this
to yeah, that thing's heavy. Ooh, I'm actually gonna step away. I'm afraid to drop it on my head. Ooh,
Professional.
so the guy looks tough. I'm just gonna hire him to watch my back.
Got you all feeding the gators.
He's only got one eye though, so if he comes from the other side, he won't be able to see him coming.
Yeah, not exceptional.
True. I bet you do. One year anyway, right?
Yeah, kind of offsets. You know, I see with my ear on the right side.
Echolocation.
Yeah, I'm like fucking Batman.
What's your name, sir?
Batman.
My name is Jake Swanson.
Good to know. Good to know. I'm Rose, by the way, Rose Nadler.
Nice to meet
Oh,
you.
good.
I'm the
Rose.
COO of Weasel News.
Oh shit. Big boss.
Second in command, COO, not CEO.
Oh, my bad. See, I'm facing my left. I hear shit up on.
Yeah, because that's the eye side, right?
Yeah. Told you they're offset.
How does hearing with your eye work?
Well, you see, when people talk, it puts out vibrations in the atmosphere, and my eye is specially trained because all the powers from one eye got put into the other eye, so I got like double super eye power into one. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Oh, I gotta get my camera back out. Sorry.
I can like.
Okay.
All right, I'm sorry about that. I hope you guys all can understand. Sometimes we have
sorry.
to respect people's privacy and their concerns for their safety. That is why we do closed hearings as well. We are now free to move on from there. Mr. Grimm, if you have any other victims, witnesses here, you may call them now.
No, I do not, Your Honor.
All right. Defense, do you have any other victims or witnesses to call up?
May I address Mr. Connor Lance as he's here today?
Yeah. I mean, he is the charging officer. If you have questions for a charging officer, we can definitely have him come up here.
Yes.
You can always listen later.
Alright, place your hand on his book. You swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Alrighty.
All right, sir. For the records of the court, can you state your name and occupation?
I'm sorry, the fire hydrant is making it rather difficult. 1 second. I'm so sorry about that. Go ahead, please.
No, it's fine. For the court's record, can you state your name, occupation, and rank?
I am a senior officer with LSPD. My name is Connor Lance, and my badge number is 343.
Thank you for that. So I will address you as Officer Lance, if you don't mind.
Whatever you're comfortable with.
All right. Officer Lance, from the situation report, it states that you were informed that Mr. Limbs here was with a female coworker, and you called it in to have the area locked down and have them detained, correct?
Yes.
Understood. That female that was there, have we ever been able to identify her?
I believe Ethan Redfield in front of me spoke with her. I did not directly speak with her as I was held with responsibility on the apprehension of Mr. Limbs.
Understood. So then I will have to get that information as well then. Whenever you set up the lineup, did you set up for anyone else to be in there besides Mr. Limbs?
No, because the description we had on the warrant matched the description on the individual, as well as his MTD profile, which was taken that day, also matched several descriptive factors given to me by witnesses. His GSR test, which is also his fingerprint scan, which was given to us due to improper practice by police. So he had a fingerprint in our database, which we're not supposed to be doing, but by chance it did happen. And so his MDT and fingerprint registration matched his profile as well as the individual what he was wearing in the warrant. So basically, that was enough confirmation factor for myself to believe that this was in fact Mr. Limbs. That is what the warrant was designated for. So I just wanted the 3 witnesses to identify this man.
Understood. And is it possible that these witnesses could have seen another gentleman wearing the same exact uniform there?
I don't believe so. Once someone wears one thing one day to possibly deter a case or to deter other people's mindset, then that is a coincidence. This man has been wearing the same thing over and over again, especially when he is involved with his associates, I call them victims or witnesses, and that doesn't become a coincidence anymore, that becomes evidence.
Understood. 1 second here.
Yeah, 1 second, fire hydrant, I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So the warrant that you wrote for to raid his property and everything.
Yes.
Was this written before or after you had placed this gentleman into custody?
This was written well before we placed him in custody.
Understood.
It was signed off, I believe, what would be 5 days. I believe it was signed off by Rick Price and Judge Tony Sapetti, I believe, 5 days before we got him in custody. We were able to apprehend him and perform the raid on his property.
Understood. And what did you find on that raid?
We found nothing. Due to the new apartment building being constructed, we were fully aware that we were not going to find anything. We were not under the belief we were going to find anything in his apartment regardless, because, let's face it, a knife is very easy to conceal and usually on your person. We also performed the raid just to ensure there were no more weapons because, as I said, he was given a weapons license out, so he could have bought as many weapons as he wanted, especially firearms. It was more of a ensure the safety of the public instead of trying to find any more weapons in the apartment, if that makes sense.
Understood. Was there an investigation done regarding this about whether the weapon, whether there was a weapon that was matching that may have been found?
Yes, there was a weapon that was matching. I took evidence photos of that knife, which is what was submitted into the warrant. Unfortunately, the knife deteriorated, and I believe it got lost in a tsunami or something due to a scuff. But that's why I got the medical report to match the knife to the wounds of the victim.
Understood. So just to clarify, you did go ahead and test it and make sure that knife
Yes, I
did
did.
match and it
Yep.
was the same one.
Went through forensics and went through high command and everything to do so. So it was done properly.
Understood. May I ask why that wasn't added into the report?
Like I said, because of the scuff, there was no way for me to legally give you that evidence today. And I figured if it was going to become irrelevant, I did not want to waste our time. I can attest to it. And of course, if it is irrelevant, that is not viable evidence, then I'm more than willing to accept that as well.
Understood. Yes, Your Honor,
And like I said, the
said,
knife photo was in the warrant. That is the photo I took of the knife the day I got it.
yes, it seems the knife was not in the warrant, it was in the report.
No, it's in the warrant.
I will double check to make sure there. One
Let's
second.
see. Yeah, I'll check as well, just to be safe. I do see the knife in my document.
I see the knife in the warrant document myself too.
Yes, Your Honor, I do not have the knife in my document here.
You have the warrant? Or...
Yes, I have the warrant.
Your Honor, I'm comfortable with whatever decision you make. If that's not viable, since all parties cannot see it, then we will proceed accordingly.
No, it's okay. Give me a second. Let me review. So I have the... Stand by. Jay, go ahead and send me the warrant that you have, because I have the one that Jason Carlin has. Send me what you have, and I need to see if these are different for whatever reason.
Alright, I forwarded it to you. Unless the reference of knife is meant differently by Mr. Shieldbreaker.
Mr. Shieldbreaker, can you clarify your confusion about the knife?
Yes, Your Honor. It was stated that there was a picture of the knife in the warrant. I do not see a picture in the warrant.
Okay, there's a clarification. The picture of the knife is not in the warrant, but under the section of confiscated items, knife use and assault. And also the probable cause.
Okay. I do see that a knife was confiscated. Picture is not necessarily required to be attached to the affidavit here, as long as it's verbalized. However, if you would like to see a photograph of it, I can have the officer email it to you.
I was just asking for clarification there because it was stated that it was on there, and I was just making sure I had the right document there.
Yes, sir.
Yes, my main concern with this is that there's no documentation regarding the testing or anything else regarding the knife.
Well, like I said, I put it through forensic systems. I put it through our high command, and they gave the all clear to include the mention of the knife into the warrant, which is what they felt was enough testimony for the proper forensic certification.
It's good enough. It's good enough for the probable cause. probable cause is based on the officer's word and what they have as far as facts. So the warrant, the way the warrant sits, the warrant is fine itself. Um,
Yes, Sean. I'm not calling into question the warrant. I am calling into question using the knife as evidence, as it was. We have no current
I understand.
report. Yes.
You weren't made aware during discovery that this was going to be introduced as evidence.
No, I was actually, whenever I was handed the information, I was told this was on his person, not that this would be brought up.
The knife mentioned in the warrant was a different knife than in the arrest report. He had a knife on him when we apprehended him. Like I said, bad paperwork in PD, and he was given a knife on his person in an alleyway with the individual. That arrest report is pertaining to the current knife. The warrant knife is a different knife.
So there were two different knives.
Yes, there was two different weapons. The arrest report knife was just confiscated evidence. There is no reason to believe that knife was used against anyone in a ill-mannered harm. The warrant knife is the knife that was used against the victims.
Was that knife ever recovered? The one that was used against the victims?
Yeah, like I said, there was a scuff with that knife, and I believe a tsunami swiped it away, but I did take a photo of it, and I think it just got lost in my brain. I can attempt to find it for the court record if need be, but it was also included on the warrant.
If Mr. Shieldbreaker would like to see the photograph, then yeah, otherwise, I'm okay.
Your Honor, I'd just like to point out that there was no mention to me or defense that there were two knives, that there was any difference in these knives, and that knife is no longer around.
If you had asked for clarification, I would have been more than happy to give it to you. But the evidence is right there on the warrant, as well as the arrest report.
All right, fair enough. We can go ahead and move on from here. I have noted your concern, Mr. Shieldbreaker.
Thank you, Your Honor. Would my colleague like to say anything?
Yeah.
Wait, where are you? Oh, hi, sorry.
Let me scoot up to the front here.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello, Mr. Nolans. My name is Jason Kerwin.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Can you explain to me the common practice of a lineup?
A common practice of a lineup is when we are not sure of the person being in question for identification. I had enough reasonable evidence to believe that this was the individual. I need.
I'm not asking about that, Mr. Nolans.
Well, that's my answer.
No, I asked what was the common practice of it.
Okay, common practice of a lineup is to identify an assailant.
All right, and how many people are generally used in these lineups?
It depends on the case. There is no standard. There could be 5, there could be 4, there could be 3, there could be 2, there could be as many people that are in question. There was no other individuals in question.
And you said earlier that you reasonably believe that my client here is, guilty for sure, right?
I do have probable cause to believe he is guilty. Yes.
So you are certain that this man wore this outfit and nobody else would ever wear that outfit?
Yes, I believe that is to be true. When I spoke with the individual, the coincidence, or should I say, the common occurrences happened very frequently. I did not make of any mention to him what people were saying before. I just simply had a conversation with him. And the conversation he had with me matched every single thing people warned me of, with him having possible DID as well as his personality. I can definitely see the social awkwardness, people put it, or shyness, I like to say, because I'm a very shy individual as well. And everything, it matched almost perfectly.
Yeah, but you still can't be 100% sure that he's the only person wearing this in the city, right?
Okay, yeah, but then that's why I also had the 3 people identify him on his MDT as well as his lineup. And as I said, the fingerprint from the MDT matched the person that we had in the cells.
Well, I mean, my question is how can they pick him out if he's the only one in the lineup?
The point is that they saw this man, and there was no other suspects in question.
Well, in the witness statements, there's no time or dates on said witness date. So how are we supposed to know that it was bright enough for them to see him, or if it was too dark?
So your suggestion that this is due to bad sight, possibly that
It
this
could be.
person
We don't
who
know.
stabbed them because of bad sight.
We don't know because it's not in the witness statement on my end. I am simply suggesting that there could be multiple people in the city
Okay.
dressed just like him.
Well, if that's the case, then we have not seen them. To my knowledge, this is the only person that has been reported multiple times, especially at Noodle Exchange, is the common occurrence or commonplace that this person in these clothing who look like this man have been here.
Your Honor, I'd like to point out that the officers who put Mr. Limbs in a lineup did not have any other people dressed like him or anything of the sort for my client to have a fair and judgment.
I understand. Noted.
Your Honor, if I
Yeah,
can
it's just
interject
like
as well. In the reports here, it states that that they said that he has a multiple personality disorder, not DID.
Hold on. Rephrase what you're. Tell me again what you're asking.
The officer has stated that this gentleman has DID. That is not what is recorded in there. It is multiple personality disorder.
Objection, Your Honor. Neither of these two are like psychologists or therapists, nor is one present to confirm what the individual does or does not have.
I can rebuttal to that, Your Honor. We have information that he has seen a psychiatrist. Unfortunately, we can't reveal that due to patient client confidentiality, but he has been diagnosed with multiple personality disorder.
That's
Well, do you have the proof for it?
Okay. That's fair enough. The officer, however, is not a certified therapist, so we'll go ahead and we'll move on because while I
You don't have to
understand your
quote me on DID. Like it's
okay.
just a
It's okay.
reference point.
Just hang on, officer.
Yeah, good.
He's not a psychiatrist. If he misspoke, then that's okay. We'll move on from there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions
Hey.
for the officer?
Yes. Is it common practice to not ask for a time and date in the witness statements?
I'm sorry. 1 second. Your voice was coming in and out of my ears. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Is it common practice for the police officers of the city to not write down the time and
Well,
date
the
of
first
said
3
incidents?
statements I did not retrieve myself, as I said. I did not write these down, and I was not there present for the statements. I was given them by another member of CID.
Okay, Your Honor,
was handed over to me.
I'd like to point out that in all the witness statements that were given to the defense, none of them has a time or date. So all this could have happened a week ago, a month ago, or 2 years ago, for all we know.
Fair enough. Noted as well.
I have no more questions at this time.
Mr. Grimm, you have anything for the officer?
I do not, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, officer. You may step down for the time being. All right, is there anything else that needs to be submitted to evidence for me to review, Mr. Grimm?
Not that I can think of, Your Honor, no.
Defense, is there anything else evidence for me to consider?
Actually, I might have just thought of something. Unless I can submit it now.
Has the defense had a chance to review this evidence that you're submitting? What is it?
Yeah, they should have had.
Okay. Go ahead.
There was 2 emergency protection orders filed against Mr. Limbs.
Yes, we got that, Your Honor.
Okay.
All right, let me review those again. It's been a while. Just give me 1 second.
I honestly don't know how this one's gonna go. Chat. I mean, I never know how they're gonna go, I guess, but this is like a very strangely put together case from both ends. so we're just gonna have to wait and see like everybody else. Yeah, I mean, that happens a lot. In all of these cases so far, the evidence has been weird.
Does the defense have any comments on the 2 protective orders that are listed in the document?
No, Your Honor, but I would like to put something on record before we proceed.
All right, go ahead.
In both files that we received, the warrant and the situation report, as far as we know, there is no victims present, actual victims of an attack, let alone any evidence in a report that we have any access
Objection,
to.
Your Honor. Emma Fist was a victim with a medical report, and she has been present.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Except for that one. My bad.
All right. So what you're telling me is we do not have the second victim for the second charge of attempted murder?
And also, absolutely no evidence on the weapon, blood, or anything of the sort. We have basically what I'm saying is we have nothing that actually leads to my client except for witness statements.
Mr. Grimm, what do you what charges is Miss This the victim of? The attempted murder, I know that. And what else? Or is that it? As far as she's concerned.
Let me just pull up the list again.
All right.
Yes, definitely the attempted murder.
Okay, so she is not part of the stalking and harassment, correct?
Correct.
All right.
Again, Your Honor, we don't have that police report, let alone anything that indicates that he was convicted of this attempted murder.
Well, we're debating that attempted murder right now. It's misdiced. That's what we're dealing with now because there's 2 counts of attempted murder that he's being charged with today. He's being charged with 2 counts of attempted murder, 3 counts of stalking, and 3 counts of harassment.
Yes, Your Honor. I mean, as it stands right now, in my opinion, there's no evidence whatsoever except for some witness statements that he's being charged with attempted murder. There's nothing there.
All right, noted.
Your Honor, if I may interject as well.
Go ahead.
There's also no police reports or statements regarding any of the stalking or harassment charges.
Well, we do have the lady that came up here and spoke to us about Noodle when he kept coming back.
Myra wasn't asked to
You know,
testify.
I know it's just a statement, but we can't completely disregard victims of a crime. But I do understand your concern, and I'm noting everything that you're telling me. I'm gonna consider everything.
Your Honor, if I may.
Sure.
At the time of request for information pertaining to the case, we had a new MDT system put into place, so it would be almost physically impossible for us to submit any previous reports tied to the request for information. Believe me, I would have loved to have given it, but unfortunately, there is no way for me to go into our system and provide it. I could only provide what
Objection,
was
Your Honor.
available.
If there was a warrant written before this was done, then that information should have been tied to that warrant, and therefore should have been present with that warrant.
And that's why the statements and the people that were involved did give those statements, as well as the restraining orders against Mr. Limbs. Again, we do not put situation reports in our warrants. It is a list of evidence, not a situation report for the warrant. I was just simply stating the evidence, not the situation itself.
All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll address this. You know, we do have some restrictions in our city, and things happen with systems changing and things getting lost and whatnot. While I do understand the concern of the defense, I also do understand from former proceedings that is not common knowledge to back up every single report. The report usually gets shared during discovery. That is something that might need to be revisited in the policies and procedures, but that is going to be a conversation for another time. We're going to look at the evidence that we have present. I All I really have is the statements that I've heard today. So I'm not looking at any police report myself, so it will not be used in a biased way to rule against your client. So you don't have to worry about that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. All right. What we'll do now is we'll go ahead for evidence to be put forth. Mr. Graham, you may go ahead and make your closing argument. Then the defense will make a closing argument. We're going to take a quick 5-10 minute recess. I'm going to go upstairs and deliberate, and then I will come down with my verdict. Mr. Grimm, you may go ahead and begin.
Okay, Your Honor. So, with everything we've heard today, and with all the evidence that we have gone over, the statement to the individual that gave a private statement, as well as the two that gave their public statement, I believe it's common, like MO with this individual, all of his identifiers have been tracked and traced. Regarding the questions asked to the defense on their behalf, the individual's attire has not changed, his descriptors have not changed. It is how he is linked to every single event regarding it, coming up to the warrant. And in that, I do believe that this individual is Sheldon Limbs and is the one that attacked these females of our city. And that's why they have not been feeling so safe at night. And honestly, that's all I have, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Grimm. Defense, you may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. My client today here is, as we've seen here, been identified by witnesses that have only seen one person. There's been no attempt to show up anyone else that may dress like them in attempts. And those witnesses also, what in the world? Never mind. Those witnesses as well were in a state of distress and therefore not credibly able to determine who it was without proper means there. I could see if there was more than one person there, but being the only person there, it's not very clear. That being said, being creepy is not a crime, Your Honor, and that is simply what everyone has been stating with my client, is that they have creeped him out or they feel as though he is socially awkward. Being socially awkward is also not a crime. It is part of his personality and something that he has went to therapy to try to take care of.
All right, fair enough. I appreciate y'all's closing statements. What we'll do now is we'll go ahead and take a 5-10 minute recess. Mr. Limbs, please remain in the courtroom. Everybody else, feel free to move about as you please. Just give me about 5-10 minutes, and I'll be right back, and we'll call it back in session. If you could stay inside the building, that way you don't gotta get searched again. I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
So we've heard all of the evidence and the closing statements from both the defense and the prosecution. Now we'll wait for Honorable Judge Tony Zapetti to deliberate, give his results.
I don't understand.
Yeah, the defense is. The problem is that there's not a. Police are not doing a very good job of like collecting and maintaining evidence. Part of that's like the MDT system. Part of it is just like they don't collect evidence very well. But at least there wasn't the part about like body cam footage. That's the part that drives me the most crazy, probably.
That's evidence.
No, that's
Well, you Shelly or Sebas?
that's Charlie.
Oh, that's right. That's why you told me about that. Hey, Sebas?
Is anyone eating food?
I should be.
What the heck?
Oh, I fell asleep. What happened?
Not yet.
What a polite man.
This guy some kind of serial killer.
He stabbed a couple people. Female.
Never sounds like he's done it before.
Just because he hasn't done it before doesn't mean he hasn't done it.
No, what I mean to say, I thought they were saying like this is like his thing. He's done it before. Like this is not the first time.
I mean, there's multiple people that he's talked to.
Jesus.
Because I've even like talked to him before.
Yeah, she had like a almost like a restraining order against him.
Yeah, one of those EPOs is mine.
Yeah, it's not easy to get restraining orders in this city.
To be fair, looking around the room, if I pick one guy that had a restraining order against him, it would be him.
Right?
I mean, you could just ask me out to dinner if that's what you're looking for.
We'll see.
If this man goes free, I doubt he's gonna walk away alive.
They searched him for a knife before they let him in here, right?
He came from the
I think so.
prison,
Yeah.
probably.
Because you guys might want to move out of the front row, if not.
It's a tricky situation.
I'm not ready. Or I'm not worried.
It's been a fair amount of mishandling of evidence.
Yeah, definitely. Police have got to get their stuff in line.
Yo, Ginger!
Oh my god.
What?
Yeah, Ginger, this man wants to talk to you.
Hi, she doesn't want to talk to you.
What do you want?
Hey, Savas. Try to be a little polite to the people here. Okay, thank you, man. How you feeling? You feeling good? Yeah, the prosecution had a lot of scrambled evidence, huh? That was kind of unprofessional. It's all situational as well.
I myself
Hold
also
on.
wear a green jacket with a dark hood.
Yeah, I had one question though, Savas.
Yes.
So you came. I heard that you got arrested at Burger Shops.
No. It was around the corner.
Okay, but were you wearing Burger Shop outfits?
Not at that time. I had just clocked off.
Okay, no, because I was like, I've never seen you at work in anything else but a Burger Shop outfit, and I heard that you were arrested inside Burger Shop, but that was then, I heard wrong then.
Yes, no, it
Yeah.
seems there may be some fibs about the fact that I
I
only wear this
can
outfit.
clarify that immediately. The report says he was arrested outside of the liquor store by the alley.
No, yeah, no. Okay, that makes sense.
I would also like to say there was a man in prison. He had attacked me and started shit-talking me when I was on the ground. He said he thought I was a Russian man who was wearing the same thing I was.
I've heard about that. Those
Yes, and I
Russians
resembled
at
his
the
appearance.
truck yard have been wearing similar outfits. Yes, that is correct.
There's a rat.
A rat!
Oh my god.
Kill it!
I would like to
There's a
bring
rat!
that to his attention as well.
Kill the rat!
Oh god. It's coming over here.
Oh my god, there's a rat in the courthouse.
Rat in the courthouse!
Tase it. Oh,
She just attacked a police officer.
Jesus
Damn.
Christ.
Hey, someone take
that
care of
witness
that.
is violent. Very violent.
There was an ugly rat in the courthouse.
Oh well, if it makes you feel any better, Savas, I never felt unsafe about
Do you know how freaking
This is Rose Nadler, CEO of Weasel News, reporting live from the
Sorry,
courthouse.
Your Honor, there's a rat in the courthouse. I
Appears
demand to
so,
get
the
contempt.
If you don't get off my nice furniture,
Go ahead.
what you think this
Hook
is?
it up.
I'm trying to be on TV.
raised in a
Hi,
barn?
Mom.
I got the writ. I got the writ.
Someone get this rat out the
Standing on this
courthouse.
nice furniture.
Also, Your Honor, if we may, my client would like to say something to you before you give your deliberation.
That's fair enough. We'll hear him out.
Should I go to the stand?
You can do it from right there, sir. Just make sure you speak up for everybody so they can hear you. Is everybody back in the courtroom? We all good? I think we are good. All right. You may go ahead and proceed, Mr. Limbs.
Firstly, I would like to address the accusation that I only wear this outfit. I have a plethora of other outfits. I have an all-black one with a baseball cap. I have my burger shot uniform, and another dark green coat, where I have black pants and moccasins. The fact that the statement that I only wear this outfit is an outright lie. And upon my time I spent within the prison, I was assaulted by a man who thought me to be a Russian. He had made the accusation that I was a Russian because they have all started to dress ever so similar to myself. I have reason to believe these Russians are the ones committing the crime, and I am simply a scapegoat. Quite easy to frame the weird man, the quiet one, is it not?
I suppose you are correct, sir. I see your point. And I would like to apologize on the statements made against your outfits. I'm sure you have a wonderful closet.
And I would also like to address my time at the Noodle, as these stalking allegations are simply not true. I'm a quiet individual, and I'm very keen to my surroundings. Upon entering a new place, I like to look around, hence the reason when I enter a room, I stand. I may observe people for an awfully weird amount of time, but it's nothing with malintent. And I had frequented the Noodle that day because I had made a few friends. One being Alexis Jones, who spent most of her day at the Noodle, another being Storm Ski, who spent most
Can
of
I
his day
interject,
there.
Your Honor? This is starting like these people are not present in this case, nor were they called to the witness stand.
It's okay. He's just making a statement to the courts. It bears no evidence. He's just saying his piece, and we'll allow it. Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry about that.
As I was saying, hence the reason I had made frequent visits. As I do believe we all know, you become quite thirsty and hungry ever so fast. The weather can be very dry. So it would be not irregular for someone to visit a place multiple times to replenish their hunger, to quench their thirst. That is all.
Fair enough. Thank you for your statement, sir. We appreciate it. All right. We're going to go ahead and address a couple of issues first, and then I will talk about the outcome here. So I am a little bit concerned. I have noted the defense's arguments about making sure that our paperwork is in order, and I too am concerned about that. We have statement forms for victims to fill out for a reason. They fill it out in their own words. They sign the bottom of it, and there's no disputing it. I would prefer that we do use these statement forms instead of an officer taking them verbally, because then it makes it very difficult. We have to have 3-4 people coming up here to testify to the same thing. It makes things very confusing and very difficult. So I have a problem with that. As far as the lineup is concerned, I think we misspoke regarding we didn't use the proper term for it. I believe that the ladies were summoned just to make sure that this is the gentleman that they saw before. It was phrased as a lineup, which caused a lot of confusion with the defense. I agree that the lineup system needs to be revised, looked at, or just reworded when we use it in the courtroom. Defense, while I understand your concern about the report, I also understand that our systems have gone through some changes, and as I stated before, a lot of the reports don't get printed out constantly after every arrest, just because that would cause a lot of unnecessary paperwork, and we already chopped down enough trees up north, so we're trying to prevent that. So usually the reports are provided on the day of discovery. I'm also concerned about the lack of communication between the prosecution and the defense. I need to make sure that you guys understand evidence has to be disclosed, arguments have to be disclosed, witness lists have to be provided, and it's on both the prosecution and the defense. The defense needs to make sure that the prosecution attends a motion of discovery at least 24 hours prior to the court case. That way, all parties have everything that's going to be disclosed on the day of trial so that we don't have any surprises. Due to that, I've had to throw some statements out. Due to the lack of all victims being present, it breaks my heart because I did read one of the statements, but due to the fact that it wasn't the actual victim that wrote it and signed it, I don't know if the officer misheard this person or if the officer wrote down correctly, as the defense has already proven. Things get misheard and mistyped, and I'm not faulting anybody for it, but it just leaves room for doubt. However, I do find sufficient evidence for attempted murder on one count. Miss Amethyst, she came up here. I'm very concerned about the way that played out. Mr. Limbs is going to be guilty of attempted murder ×1. Also, Miss Maddie, I believe is her name. Miss Welsh. I'm sorry, so many names running through my head right now. All right, awesome. Based on her statement, we're also going to find him guilty of stalking ×1 and harassment ×1. I am going to order Mr. Limbs to see Dr. Strag on a regular. I'd like for you to get together with him, come up with some type of plan. I would like for him to have sessions with you where you guys discuss some things, make sure everything's okay with that. And then while I do understand your argument that people do get hungry and thirsty, you're absolutely right. However, there are multiple other establishments. You are at this time banned from Noodle until the owners decide otherwise. You are to go to Burger Shot or Luchetti's Pizza, or if nothing is open, gas stations. Sandwiches are not the best, but they'll do for now, or you'll have to send somebody else to get you food from Noodle. But for the time being, you're banned from Noodle unless the owners change their mind. I also would like to have protection orders issued against everybody that has testified here today. The protective orders will be in effect for 30 days, at which point we will revisit and see if the victims feel the need that they still need a protective order. I know I kind of threw out a lot at you guys, but I will get with the lawyers afterwards and we'll get the paperwork sorted out. How long has Mr. Limbs been in jail so far? Does anybody know how many days he spent in jail already? Because he was held, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
We put him in for a maximum of 360 months upon Matt Busy's approval. We have. I asked for Dr. Strog to check up on him. I called him, and that's where I'm assuming the assailant got the treatment from Dr. Strog. Dr. Strog did not give me a statement for how long he's been in there, though, upon my request.
Is there any way we can see how much more time he has to serve? Or
There is absolutely no way to check. Could have served his time by now, for all we know.
I'm sorry, Ethan. What'd you say?
They're gonna let him out right now? For time served after
Speak
attempted
up.
murder?
Okay, so what we'll do in that case is we'll have Mr. Limbs taken back. He was already sentenced over the max, so if he has served his time, he will be released at this time with those convictions on his record. Mr. Limbs, just so you know, your attorneys will read the protective order. If you get protective orders in any way, you're going to be back here in the courtroom and you're going to end up facing even more time. I'd rather not do that. So if you could please abide by the rules listed in the restraining order. Do we have an officer here that can escort him down to the jail to check his time? We do? Okay, awesome. So what we'll do is at this time, Mr. Limbs, you're going to be taken down there. They're going to make sure that you have served your time. If you have not served all your time, you are to serve the entire sentence that was given to you by Matt Busy. Once you have served your sentence, like I said, restraining order, get with Dr. Strag, and no Noodle for the time being until the owners lift the ban. Mr. Graham, any questions?
No questions, Your Honor, except one actual last thing. The third person as well. What about them? The one we did in private. Was that taken into consideration?
I have had to throw that statement out because defense wasn't aware of what they would be testifying to. That didn't have anything written down.
Gotcha.
Defense, any questions? Sheesh. I hope that wasn't one of y'all.
No,
It
Your
was
Honor.
not,
we're
Your
okay.
Honor.
All right. So no questions.
No, Your
Not for me.
Honor.
All right. Fair enough. Court is over. And somebody please see to Mr. Limbs. Thank you for your time, guys. Sorry I was late today.
Shelly.
Yo, Judge, moon for us right now, man.
I can't do it.
I'm gonna
Konnichiwa.
stalk up you, right?
Thank you, Mr. Limbs. We will be in touch to get
Oh,
you.
that's
I don't know.
But I
Do
really
you
just spent
guys want to
20K
make a statement
just
to
saying
Weasel
someone
News?
like Hold on. that. Can I have you guys back
Let's
up,
do something
please?
at this-
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
I love
Watch
it,
out.
bro.
Hold on, Mr. Limbs. I'm having some
Was
issues.
Grim? He was literally right next to you, and he's walking out.
Mr. Curlin, Mr. Shieldbreaker, do you have a statement?
Should we give a statement?
Okay.
Yeah, why not?
I don't. You can take care of that part if you want. I'm gonna go find Tom or Tony. Sorry.
Say no.
Oh, okay.
Huh?
Sorry?
Did Victor say no?
Yeah, he said he was going to go find Tony.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, my statement is that the evidence was pretty mismatched. We had no really account on both ends. We could have done better for obvious reasons, but from what was presented, it could have been a lot better, in my opinion. So, I mean, from what Lim said, there has been Russians running around in pretty much the same attire, and I just wish the PD took that into account and could have done better.
Did you consider putting Mr. Limbs on the stand?
Thought about it, but in the end, just decided not to. We didn't need to.
All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Yep. Take care.